Why move to Huntington Beach? Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're considering moving to Huntington Beach. Maybe you're comparing it against other cities in Orange County. Maybe you're comparing it against other coastal cities here in Southern California. So in today's video, we're going to talk about why you should move to Huntington Beach, why I'm here in Huntington Beach. As a transplant to Huntington Beach coming from North Carolina nearly 20 years ago, why am I still here today? In fact, as a real estate agent, one of the questions that I often get from a lot of people looking to move to Huntington Beach are, what are the popular things in Huntington? What is there to do? What keeps people there over time? So I want to spend a little bit of time and talk about the things that I feel that attracts people to Huntington Beach, why people choose to stay here, and why people end up moving to Huntington Beach when they could consider other areas for a lot less money. Now, everyone knows that Huntington is known for its beaches, hence the name Huntington Beach, also known as Surf City. We have really good surf here. If you're a beach lover, Huntington Beach actually offers the most unobstructed beach of anywhere here in Southern California, because we have both state and city beaches that don't allow housing to be built on the coast. So when you're on the beach, you're on the beach and there's no houses around you, which makes for a really nice setting. So ultimately, if you love spending time by the water and want to be near the beach, then Huntington Beach is a really, really good choice. And the primary reason I say that is because it's still the least expensive beach city in all of Orange County. So if you want to live in Orange County and you want to be by the beach and you want the most affordable area, then Huntington Beach is going to offer you the best of all of that. In fact, that's one reason why I live in Huntington Beach. I grew up on the beaches of North Carolina, not actually on the beach, but we spent a lot of summers on the beach. So I've always been near the water, surfing, playing in the water, just being on the sand. And for me, it's just part of who I am. So when moving to the West Coast, I knew I wanted to be by a beach. And while I spent some time in San Diego, down in the Pacific Beach area, beautiful area, I just found Huntington Beach to be more of my style, on top of having really, really good weather. And in fact, that's the primary reason that I'm still in California today. It's the weather. We have such a mild Mediterranean style climate. It never gets super, super hot. It never gets super, super cold. In fact, it never freezes here in Huntington Beach where I'm located, or at least I've never seen it in the 20 years I've been here. Now, there are a couple of times a year where it gets warmer outside. You do get some humidity a few times of the year, but more or less the weather is pretty much perfect. You can wear shorts outside almost every single day. You might need a light jacket or some long sleeves to cover up, but overall the weather is absolutely perfect. Now you might be watching this saying, why can't I just move inland? It might be a little less expensive and I can just drive to the beach and have the best of everything that Huntington Beach has to offer without actually paying the prices. Well, the reason is because, yes, you can move inland. Yes, it can be less expensive. Then you're not really getting the best of what Huntington Beach has to offer, because living inland, depending on where you're looking or what you're talking about, it can be 5, 10, 15 degrees warmer during those summer months. And that might not seem like a lot, but here at the beach, when it's 80 degrees, you got the wind blowing off the ocean. And because the ocean water is a cooler temperature, it's a nice cool breeze most of the time. That 80 degrees feels like 70, maybe 75, whereas you go inland, not only are you not getting the breeze, you're getting the full effect of that 5, 10, 15 degrees warmer, making it way, way hotter. And for that reason, I choose to live by the beach. Now, before we dive into the next activity, I'd like to take a minute and ask a favor. If you find any value in these videos at all, do me a favor and hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on everything Huntington Beach and real estate related. The third thing that brought me to Huntington Beach and is keeping me in Huntington Beach, and a good reason to move to Huntington Beach, is if you're an outdoor enthusiast, if you're an active person, likes to spend time outside, because the weather is so good most of the year, you can do a lot of outdoor activities pretty much year round. Outside of surfing and playing volleyball on the beach, Huntington Beach offers a lot of paths, in fact paved paths along the beach that you can run on, bike on, making it really, really easy to get out and enjoy the outdoors. In addition to that, there's always activities happening down at the beach, whether it's the US Open of Surfing, whether it's the AVP volleyball, whether it's concerts on the beach or car shows, or maybe you're just going out with friends and having dinner and looking to walk around. Huntington Beach has a lot lot of outdoor space for you to be able to do that, between Main Street and 5th Street to walking around Pacific City and even Bellaterra. And with all of these outdoor spaces come restaurants, right? We're always getting new restaurants. And I'm not just talking about your name brand restaurants. Yes, those are out there. We get a lot of local cuisine, a lot of entrepreneurs looking to start restaurants, and a lot of them end up being really, really good. And with that, it gives you an opportunity to get out and, try new things, experience new restaurants, and not just do the same thing over and over again. And with that, many of them have outdoor seating areas where you can not only sit outside and enjoy the weather, but many of them offer views of the ocean, in addition to great spots to people watch if you're like me. Now, when I first moved to Huntington Beach, I was just in my early 20s. I wasn't married, didn't have kids, but I'm now at the point where I am married. I have 3 kids, and they're going to school. They're all in public school, and the schools here in Huntington Beach are really, really good. In fact, the school that my kids go to is currently sitting at a 9 out of 10, and we've been super happy with the schools over the years. And while Huntington Beach does offer both private and charter schools, we've chosen to keep our kids in public schools because we've been really happy with the teachers. So the school system here in Huntington is also really, really good. So if you have kids or planning on having kids, that's something you definitely should consider. So just a moment ago, I mentioned Huntington Beach being the most affordable beach city in all of Orange County. On top of that, I believe it to have the most room for growth. Because Huntington was built in, the 50s and 60s, it was primarily an oil town. A lot of the shopping centers, a lot of the infrastructure, a lot of Huntington is still on the older side. And as it improves and new buildings and shopping centers are redone, I feel like that adds value to the area. Take Pacific City, for example, in the downtown Huntington Beach area right on PCH. For a very long time, that was just a vacant piece of land. Once they bought that land, developed it, you have hotels there now, you have restaurants, shopping, dining. It's busy. There's always people there. That adds value to that area because people want to be within walking distance of that stuff. They want to be able to go out and have a nice dinner, somewhere to bring people when they're in town. And I feel like Huntington still has a lot of opportunities that they can transform, which will ultimately add value to the area. Huntington Beach access to major cities, access to other things around Orange County. While much of Huntington can be far from the freeway, a negative if you will, takes a while to get to the freeway, you're pretty well located to get to LA, to get down to San Diego, to go to different sports arenas. If you're somebody that likes Disneyland, Huntington Beach is the closest beach city to Disneyland, so it's only a short drive away. In fact, a lot of people that plan on visiting Disneyland end up vacationing in Huntington Beach because they can get the best of both worlds, having Huntington Beach to vacation at when they're not at Disneyland, but also having quick access to be able to drive to Disneyland for the day and spend time with family and friends. And the last thing I want to talk about is Huntington Beach is not a pretentious city at all. In fact, I know a lot of people here that have a lot of money that you would never know that they have money, whereas in other cities here in Orange County, not going to mention them, they're very much about having money, being hoity-toity, whatever. And if that's you, that's completely okay. But Huntington Beach isn't really that area. And in fact, that's one thing I appreciate about Huntington. Most of the people here are real. So after watching this, if you're considering moving to Huntington Beach, you have additional questions about Huntington Beach, I am a local residential real estate agent for nearly 20 years. Would love the opportunity to answer your questions, help guide you through that process. So do me a favor, feel free to reach out. My contact information is in the description below. But if you're watching this wondering, what are the negatives of Huntington? Why should I avoid it? Well, in this video, I talk about the pros and cons. So do me a favor and check that out here.